When 90 Day Fiancé introduced Pattiya, audiences were quick to define her by one thing alone: her shopping habit. From expensive clothes to impulsive purchases, her lifestyle instantly became a hot topic among fans. Social media criticism poured in, with many viewers labeling her irresponsible, shallow, and financially reckless. However, as the season unfolds, it becomes increasingly clear that Pattiya's problems extend far beyond overspending. What initially appeared to be a simple issue of money is, in reality, a complex web of emotional, psychological, relational, and cultural struggles that threaten not only her relationship, but her personal growth as well. Pattiya's shopping habit is not the root of her problems, it is merely the most visible symptom. Beneath the surface lies a deep emotional insecurity that drives many of her decisions. Shopping, for Pattiya, functions as an emotional escape. Each purchase offers temporary comfort, a brief sense of control, and validation in moments when she feels uncertain about her future, her relationship, or her self-worth. This pattern is common among individuals who struggle with unresolved emotional needs, yet reality television often reduces such behavior to caricature rather than context. One of Pattiya's biggest challenges is emotional immaturity, particularly when it comes to handling conflict. Whenever serious conversations arise about finances, long-term planning, or shared responsibility, she becomes defensive. Instead of listening, she reacts. Instead of reflecting, she resists. This defensive posture creates repeated communication breakdowns between her and her partner, turning discussions into arguments and concerns into accusations. Over time, this erodes trust and emotional intimacy, leaving both parties frustrated and unheard. Another major issue is Pattiya's difficulty with accountability. She often struggles to accept responsibility for her actions, especially when those actions have consequences for the relationship. When confronted, she tends to minimize concerns or shift blame, which only deepens the divide between her and her partner. Accountability is essential in any committed relationship, particularly one navigating the high-pressure environment of the K-1 visa process, where financial stability and mutual planning are critical. Pattiya's resistance to this reality places unnecessary strain on the relationship. The dynamic between Pattiya and her partner also reveals a troubling imbalance. As Pattiya avoids responsibility, her partner increasingly assumes a parental role, attempting to enforce structure, rules, and financial discipline. While his intentions may stem from concern, this dynamic makes Pattiya feel controlled rather than supported. She interprets guidance as criticism and boundaries as restrictions, which fuels resentment on both sides. Over time, love begins to feel like obligation, and partnership starts to resemble supervision. Cultural differences further complicate the situation. Pattiya is not just adjusting to a relationship, she is also navigating expectations tied to a new country, a new lifestyle, and unfamiliar social norms. Financial priorities, independence, and communication styles differ across cultures, and Pattiya often feels pressured to abandon her identity to meet her partner's expectations. This creates an internal conflict between adapting for love and preserving her sense of self, a struggle that manifests in emotional withdrawal and impulsive behavior. Insecurity plays a significant role in Pattiya's choices. She often seeks validation through appearance and material possessions, subconsciously equating worth with what she owns rather than who she is. In moments where she feels judged or inadequate, shopping becomes a shield, a way to reclaim confidence without addressing the underlying pain. Unfortunately, this short-term relief only worsens long-term instability, reinforcing the cycle of avoidance and conflict. Pattiya also struggles with emotional regulation. She reacts intensely to criticism, even when it is delivered calmly. Small disagreements quickly escalate, and instead of problem-solving, conversations dissolve into emotional standoffs. This inability to manage emotions under pressure makes compromise nearly impossible and leaves conflicts unresolved. Over time, unresolved conflicts accumulate, transforming minor issues into relationship-threatening problems. Another overlooked issue is Pattiya's fear of losing independence. The idea of shared finances, joint decisions, and structured planning feels like a loss of freedom to her. While compromise is a natural part of partnership, Pattiya views it as sacrifice rather than collaboration. This mindset prevents her from seeing how mutual responsibility can actually strengthen rather than limit a relationship. The public reaction to Pattiya has been harsh, yet it also reflects a broader issue within reality television culture. Female cast members are often judged more severely for financial behavior, emotional expression, and personal flaws. Pattiya's mistakes are magnified, while her emotional struggles are dismissed. This imbalance contributes to a narrative that focuses on blame rather than understanding, making personal growth more difficult both on and off screen. Despite her flaws, Pattiya is not beyond growth. What her story truly highlights is the importance of self-awareness. Until she confronts the emotional reasons behind her behavior, her insecurity, fear of abandonment, and resistance to vulnerability, no amount of budgeting or rule setting will resolve the deeper issues. Growth requires introspection, emotional honesty, and a willingness to change not for someone else, but for oneself. Ultimately, Pattiya's journey on 90 Day Fiancé serves as a reminder that relationships fail not because of a single bad habit, but because of unresolved internal struggles. Overspending may have brought attention to her story, but it is her emotional challenges, communication failures, and fear of accountability that truly put her relationship at risk. Whether Pattiya chooses growth or continues the same patterns will determine not only the future of her relationship, but the person she becomes beyond the cameras. As the season of 90 Day Fiancé moves closer to its conclusion, Pattiya's journey transforms from a headline-grabbing controversy into a deeply emotional cautionary tale. What initially appeared to be a simple issue of overspending slowly reveals itself as a much larger struggle involving emotional immaturity, insecurity, and an inability to fully accept responsibility. The excitement that once surrounded her lifestyle choices fades, replaced by the heavy reality of consequences that can no longer be avoided. Pattiya's relationship begins to suffer not because of a lack of love, but because of a lack of emotional readiness. Financial arguments become more frequent, but the real damage occurs in the silence that follows. Conversations that once ended in loud disagreements now end in emotional distance. Her partner grows tired of repeating the same concerns, and Pattiya grows frustrated, feeling constantly judged. This disconnect creates a dangerous emotional gap where resentment quietly replaces affection. The pressure of the 90-day deadline intensifies every unresolved issue. Decisions about marriage, finances, and the future demand clarity and maturity, yet Pattiya struggles to meet those expectations. She wants reassurance without structure, freedom without boundaries, and commitment without compromise. This imbalance slowly erodes trust, leaving her partner questioning whether love alone is enough to sustain the relationship. Okay, thank you friends for watching this video till the end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys.